Magnificat anima mea Dominum,
et exsultavit spiritus meus in Deo salutari meo.
Welcome to the new episode of the theme St.Teresa of Avila, Mother of Interior Souls. St.Teresa of Avila is well known for a sense of humor, born of her charming candor and original way of seeing things. She was a down-to-earth person who entertained no illusions or fancy frills either in her thinking or in her actions. Teresa was a born leader who saw no problem in disagreeing with men, in giving spiritual direction when sought of her to a bishop, and in negotiating with officialdom, secular or religious. Even though she considered women as given to an excess of emotion and imagination, and as less educated than men through no fault of their own, she assumes that they are often superior to men in judgment, and she openly asserts that many more women than men receive advanced favors from God. By this expression advanced favors, she means the prayer of mystical contemplation. There seems to have been no trace of racial prejudice in her, if we may judge from her seeing no problem at all in accepting 2 black girls in her novitiate. She well knew St. Paul, who wrote, "There is no longer Jew or Greek. There is no longer slave or free. There is no longer male and female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus." The love and tenderness for the black race are found also in St. Teresa of Lisieux, like a legacy from her mother foundress. Just 4 months before her death, St. Teresa of Lisieux said to her elder sister Pauline, Mother Agnes, "After my death, I don't want to be surrounded with wreaths of flowers as Mother Genevieve was. To those who want to give these, you will say that I would rather they spend this money in the ransom of little black babies. This will please me." Mother Genevieve entered the Carmel of Poitiers in 1830. She became mistress of novices in 1837, was sent as foundress to Lisieux in 1838. She was elected prioress for 5 terms. Therese witnessed her death in the infirmary. Little Flower was very much inspired by this saintly mother. After the death of Mother Genevieve, her body lay in choir. The saint saw a tear shining like a diamond on her eyelashes, the last she would ever shed. With a piece of linen, the saint took this for her relic. She writes in her autobiography, "Since then, I have always carried it in the little locket in which my vows are enclosed." The foundress, Mother Teresa, St. Teresa, must have had a natural cleanliness, for the dispositions repeat over and over how she was at pains to scrub and clean in the convents. gifted with a natural optimism. She had a native sense for richness, beauty, and mystery of creation, and especially of the human person. She mused in interior castle not only on the splendor of soul, but also on the many secrets an all-wise Creator had hidden in the marvels of visible creation generally. She wrote, "I believe that in every little thing created by God, there is more than we realize, even in so small a thing as a tiny ant." Lacking our powerful microscopes and telescopes, the saint could not have known the extent to which science now shows her to have been right, but the basic reality did not escape her. It is amusing to see how the sublime mystic, living habitually in close union with God, can descend effortlessly to diverse topics such as finding a job for a friend out of work, inquiring about a new stove for the kitchen, urging cleanliness in table linen and clothing, prescribing homemade cures. She wrote to one sister, "Around here, people with her complaint get a great deal of benefit from drinking 4 or 5 draughts of rose water, and good doctors recommend this. I myself get great benefit from it, whereas orange flower water is very bad for me. Its scent is good for heart, but it should not be drunk." To another sister, she wrote, "I am told that a good remedy for that urinary complaint is a small quantity of powdered rose hips, as much as will go on a half reel taken every morning. They should be picked when they are ripe and dry." To another, two sisters who had those swellings found great relief from an infusion of rhubarb taken from time to time in the morning. Then she sends pills. The prescription for pills, which I am enclosing in this letter, has been recommended by a great many doctors and was ordered me by a very distinguished one. I believe you will find the most beneficial, even if you only take one a fortnight. They have done me a great deal of good. Interesting to see in her letters, sympathizing with someone who suffered from toothaches. She writes there, "I am very sorry about your toothache, for I know from long experience what an excruciating pain it is. For if you have anything the matter with one tooth, you begin to think there is something wrong with them all, because of the pain I mean. I have never found a better remedy than having the tooth out, though that is of no use if the trouble comes from neuralgia." Then other letters, advising her brother Lorenzo how best to invest money, not in house property nor in cattle, but in land, helping him to meet other domestic problems, such as the whims of his son Francisco. She says there, "Do not be surprised at Francisco's whims. They are only due to his age." Even adding a word about such homely details as the purchase of a horse and a more convenient partitioning of his kitchen. Teresa was taken up with the beautiful voice of a candidate whom she thought would be an asset for the particular convent of hers. After the experience period, this girl went back home. St. Teresa was waiting and waiting for her, but she never came back. The saint felt very sad. Only a saint can appreciate the inborn talents of his or her neighbor. From all these, anyone can grasp how ordinary is a saint. Thank you.